Hello, everyone. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV, and you're joined by me this evening. Yet again, talking about West Ham losing at the Emirates to Arsenal in a 2-0 defeat, which I've got to admit, I'm absolutely fucking raging about. I will bring my guest on shortly. I just want to let this burst out. But I'm sorry, but David Moyes, Mikel Antonio is a right back. What's the fucking crack here, mate? Like, do you know what I mean? What is this man not? What, can't he be sub? Like, I start off with the game. Let's get on with the game before I get to them. Like the pair of them. Like first half, first 15 minutes, we were all over the place. Can't defend, can't do anything, can't even get our own box. Right. Arsenal played it pretty decent. We defended for our lives, and I'll tell you what, Craig Dawson and Fabianski get joint man of the match for me. I think both of them were absolutely first class. We defended, we tried. Pablo Fornals had a great effort that just went inches past the post. But we just didn't look great in the first half. It looked absolutely bang average at best. And we got in at half time 0-0 and we was lucky. But I was happy. I was like, you know what? I'm happy to be in at half time 0-0 because we just wasn't good enough, right? So I'm thinking of stuff at half time. Please, David Moyes, let's change it up a bit, right? Let's bring some fresh people on and change the system and, whatnot. But no, he comes out second half with the same tactics, the same team. And I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, what is going on? But okay, we'll give you a benefit of the doubt. Maybe you've given him a bollocking at half time and turned around and said, you know what, it is what it is. Now, for me, the goal is a great goal. But we all know that Craig Dawson with pace, Martinelli goes through, bang. He don't miss. 1-0. And then Bowen had a chance where he looked quite decent, like he read the game. And really, we done nothing up to the penalty. And then they get a penalty. Kufel goes sliding in. Great tackle. It's a great tackle, right? And he gets, not only does he give away a penalty, but he gets sent off for it. And the irony is, tonight, is I have a bet on him to get booked and the fucking geezer gets sent off, which is just like the fucking crown topper of it all. So he goes and gets sent off, which is a poor decision. Anthony Taylor's an absolute prick. I will get onto that. But Fabianski does a great save and saves us, right? So I'm thinking, right, make a sub now, Moyes. You're right, you've got Ashby on the bench. He puts our striker at right back. Is that just taking the piss? Are we going back to Sam Allardyce village era, right? You're telling me Harrison Ashby, a player who plays right back, that's his profession, is not good enough to come on, right, and do a job. Yeah. And then after about a little while, about 10, 12 minutes, I think it is, he realises, oh, it ain't working now. I will bring on Ashby. Right? Clueless. Then Ben Rama gives the ball away, but the ball that goes into him from Rice is poor. Right? I can't knock Rice, but Declan Rice is class. But the ball goes into him, and let's be honest, he's swarmed on. Ball gets dispossessed, up the pitch, and there's 2-0. But Ben Rama will be scapegoat tonight. But what about Mikel Antonio tonight? The man who's like fucking cannot do no wrong. I mean, strolls about, podcasts, FIFA fucking interviews. How about learning how to be a striker, bruv? How about that? Anyway, we end up losing the game 2-0. And to me tonight, it proves that we are just not good enough to be top four. This was a big game, and I'm going to bring my guest on shortly. And for me, I'm angry. I'm pissed off. I've looked at that tonight, and we made Arsenal look fucking mustard. And we just turned up there and let them just fucking completely dominate us. Right? You know what I mean? Have all the ball. Partey was running the show for them. Saka was ruining Mazawaku. We've got too many deadwood players at this club, and something's got to give. I'm not saying, like, I've seen things about Moyes out. That's all bollocks. Let's not talk bollocks now. Let's talk fact. Moyes has fucked up tonight by putting our fucking striker at right back, right? When we've basically got a right back on the bench. And I'll tell you what makes me laugh is Harrison Ashby will be better than all our right backs put together. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I'll bring on my guest, and it is this man, the legend here, that is known as the Dean Banter.
How are you,
I had to
James?
let all that out, mate.
No.
I'm angry, mate. We done a preview last night, mate, and I was looking forward to this game. It's my birthday, literally half hour's time, and they've fucking literally had me over. What did you make of it?
Well, first of all, happy birthday, mate. Happy birthday.
Cheers, mate.
Do me a favour, split that screen. I can see myself too much.
No worries, mate. I will change the layout for you, just for you, mate. Just for you. There you go.
That's better, mate. That's better. I don't have to look at myself. So I know my nose is big enough. I can see it from here without being sat on the screen. But we did make Arsenal look good. We set up wrong. We were far too defensive. We were far too negative. We didn't get on the ball. We didn't have any thrust, no cutting edge. And we made and Arsenal just controlled it for the whole match, basically, in my opinion. Sad to say, I hate to say it, and I'm not saying I'm in the know or giving it a big one. I said on this show this time last night, 2-0 to Arsenal, and I told you, who did I say would score?
You said Martinelli would score, mate. 100%.
And Smith Rowe.
Smith Rowe, fucking, that would have been good odds.
Yeah, I know, I was thinking that. But you could read it. This is the way West Ham, the way Moyes is being, not changing anything, setting up the same systems every time. It's too predictable. Too predictable. This is why Moyes has never had he had Man United at that time, but he's never had a real top club. And why? And I'm not saying Moyes out. I'm not saying Moyes out at all.
Yeah.
Do I think he's a good manager? Yeah, of course he is. He got 6 lads. He's got us into Europe. But that's exactly what he used to do with Everton. Get him into Europe. Yeah. And I think we're in that same position now. And I don't see where we push on. And at the start of the season, I was hoping that we would push on this season. But when I see us going and setting up against, just popping across London, the Emirates, and setting up the way we did and the way we performed. And then let's be honest, you can slaughter all players, right? But let's just remember, they get their instructions from the manager. They're not allowed to run on the pitch and do what they want to do, right? They get their instructions from the manager. And I think he's killed Ben Rama, personally. Not killed him, but
agree.
He's taken his game out away from him. And I think we're all having a pop at Antonio, but I honestly believe Antonio is suffering as well from Moyes' tactics.
I don't know, Daya. It doesn't change the fact that sometimes players just ain't performing. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the
day. You don't become a bad player. Antonio's become a bad player. Right? He's somebody who can't hold the ball up. He loses the ball. His touch is atrocious. He's not winning headers in the air against his defenders. You could go on and on and on. The only one time he does light up a little bit still is when the ball's played in front of him. But he doesn't get the ball played in front of him. He's being used as a target man, basically. And he's never been a target man. And and after so many games, he's going to lose the will to live. Right? Yeah, and I can only blame Moyes. I'm sorry, but for that, I blame Moyes. Tonight, I would have played Bowen. Just one example. There's loads of things I would have done different tonight, right? Which we discussed last night. We didn't see any of them, obviously. But I would have tried Antonio on the right with Bowen up the middle. I said to Bowen, stay in a box, be a bit of a goal poacher, right?
Yeah, but the problem is, though, Daya, I understand that, and then you are right, and I agree with you, right? But when you've got Mikel Antonio who can't cross a road, let alone a football, right, then we have got a major problem. Like he can't beat.
He's out of sorts, mate. He's out of sorts now because he's at his wits' end. We're not playing the flowing attacking football that Antonio needs to play to deliver the goods. Right? Yeah,
I agree.
And I think my personal opinion is the same thing's going on with Antonio. He's being played out of position. 2, he's being told what to do. Instruction from his manager and his coaches. The same as Ben Rama. It's no fun. Antonio. It's no. What's the word? Fucking word. It's no coincidence that Ben Rama's game's dropped since Antonio game's dropped.
Yeah, I know, but Mikel Antonio's been here 6 years.
No,
been here
they've both gone off. But it doesn't matter how long they've been here. Them two playing together were actually on fire.
Right.
Even in Ben Rama's first season and at the start of this season. How come both of them have gone off the boil at the same time?
No idea, mate. But I must admit, I do agree with you on one thing what you just said about Moyes has probably ruined Ben Rama now
And I think
because
you find the same that
yeah.
is spilled over to Antonio as well.
I don't know. I think he's. I think his
control's
terrible.
You just got to look at the stats and look at the games, right? Ben Rama's form's dropped the same as Antonio's. Is that at the same time? So what are they being coached? What are they being managed? Why is their game dropped off together? Just doesn't add up, mate. So it's all very well us all saying, yeah, Antonio, you're shit. But if you're not playing him to his ability, he's going to.
It's not so much this. If I can put this right, and people in the chats, tell me if you agree or not. Right, I'm not saying about Antonio as a player. I'm saying the geezer is just not cutting it at the minute. It should be subbed, and he keeps playing week in.
Yeah, but obviously, with the people, if you're the person telling him to do what he's doing, you're not going to see it that way, are you? Think of it that way.
True.
Do you see what I mean?
I know what you're saying, but then you got to look at it that
but
fucking Moyes is putting him right back tonight.
Moyes could be sitting there. He's done what I told him to do, right? So why would I penalise him when he's done what I've told him to do? From Moyes' point, the rest of the stadium can all see that he's having a nightmare, but we don't know the conversation between the coaches, Moyes and Antonio and Ben Rama up front. Moyes' teams have never been attacking teams, you know.
Yeah. No, they've always been like sort of like a counter press team.
If you agree with me about Ben Rama, and I reckon you'll find is exactly the same with Antonio. If you could get Antonio in a private room and say, "Where's it all gone wrong, Mickey?" Right, and it never get leaked, right? I bet he'd sit down with you and say, "It's not me; it's what they're telling me to do." And the same with Ben Rama. Ben Rama's being told not to run it, players lose the ball. And now tonight, this will go against him again because he has lost the ball, right?
100% agree with you there.
Right? But that, for all we love Declan Rice, that was a bad ball by Declan Rice. It was overhit ball into his feet.
Yeah, with people around him, let's be honest. And
people around him,
Let's talk a bit about the game day. I know it's hard. I know you just watched it and you fucking probably want to go and have a kip. But what did you really make of the first half? Because I thought the first half was horrendous from us.
Horrendous, mate. But again, the players were playing to the tactics set out by the manager. And it's about time we started looking at our manager and saying, hang on a minute, why are we playing like this? Because the players are only doing what they're told to do, which was just clearly to sit back and let Arsenal come on.
Yeah.
There could be no other explanation for that because we weren't even... When we play the 4-2-3-1 at home, we press. We play as if we're an away team when we're at home. We press, win the ball in our half and break, right? And that's been successful up to a period of time for us, right? Until other teams and managers have worked out now, throw an extra man in midfield and you're overrun West Ham, right? But
I agree.
That's what's going on. That's what's going on. And we didn't press nothing tonight. We were just sitting back. But I missed the first 15 minutes because I was out at work, right? But as soon as I got in, I could see, turn the tally on. You think, what's going on? You see, we're playing for a 0-0 draw here, or a lucky, very lucky 1-0.
Yeah.
On a set piece or something. That's what Moyes is set up to do for us tonight.
Do you know what I'm going to do? Do you know what I'm going to do with this show tonight? While you're here, I'm going to do a player ratings. So let me get the stuff up and we'll start off because it'd be nice to have a little bit of a discussion about that. Let's start off with this man, Dyer. Give me a rating out of 10 for him.
Alex Chapman's very on the ball tonight in the chat there. He says Everton, Andy Johnson, Yakubu, Van der Maid, Radinsky, they weren't great. I don't think he can identify quality strikers, in my opinion. I agree with you, Alex. I don't think he can. I
need to have a word with you about Alex off air, Dyer, when I get a chance, because he's been. I'll speak to you about that off air, bro. Give me a rating out of 10 and reasons why you give me a rating for Fabianski, mate.
Fabianski, we saved West Ham tonight, so we didn't save us because we lost, but a 9 out of 10.
100% agree with you, mate. 9 out of 10 for me and all. I think The save that he pushes it onto the crossbar from Tierney, the penalty save.
Well, we could have. If it weren't for Fabianski tonight, we could have lost 6-0. And for Craig Dawson, but we'll come to him in a minute. We could have lost 6-0 tonight.
Easily. Yeah, I think that's the easiest.
And that was with 11 men.
That's the easiest rating to give, that one. Moving on to this man. I thought Cathal was playing okay.
I didn't well, to be fair. I'd give him a 7, mate. I don't think he deserved to be sent off. To me, that's not a foul. It's not a penalty, let alone a foul. I'll give him a 7, mate. I can't give him any more because he did get sent off, and you could argue he should be lunging in like that when he's on a yellow card, knowing the rules of football. But because he's risking it by doing that. But then if he hadn't done it, he'd have probably scored anyway. But we were getting battered anyway, so I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, mate. I think he's unlucky to get sent off. I think the first yellow card is, let's be honest, to give a yellow card for that is scandalous, really. But it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? And gutted, really, for him, really. Fucking neat, and there he's out. Moving on to this man, Craig Dawson, who I thought was absolutely rock solid tonight.
Yeah,
me and you sit on the day's banter. Right, I've sat on here and I've said I'm worried about Craig Dawson. I've sat on Jake's show. I've sat on every fucking show going. And this geezer seems to be outperforming all the others. I'm giving him.
He ain't got the pace. Sorry, go
on. I'm giving him a solid 8 tonight. I think that's about where I'm at.
And I'm going higher than that. I'm giving him a 9. Right?
I think the first goal though, isn't it?
He threw his body He threw his body at everything. I tell you what, it could have been 8 or 9-0 without his blocks and his tackles tonight. He saved the team on many, many occasions, mate. And I am going to give him a 9. And some people may say it was a little bit because of the first goal. Hey, Lacazette, there was another time Lacazette skinned him like a rabbit. But, overall, though, I wouldn't like to be a defender with Lacazette coming at me. But he's isolated on his own, No, I'm going to give him a 9. I thought if it wasn't for Craig Dawson and Fabianski tonight, right, and Dawson also held up. There was going to be an overhead kick. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed that, but Dawson had learned from his mistake against Brighton and held the player up so he couldn't get the shot off this time.
Yeah,
which we called him out for last time. So we got to give him the benefit. We called him out for it last time for not doing it. Tonight he done exactly that. So 9 out of 10 for me, Dawson.
I think it's just a solid 8 for me, but it's just not a 9 because we've lost the game. But I must admit, he was first class, 100%. Moving on.
Give him 10. Paul, give him 10. Scott, give him 9. Anyway, let's go on. Sorry, mate.
Give me a rating for Issa.
8.
Yeah.
I thought we defended brilliantly, the back line, to be honest with you.
He done a great block from Saka towards the end. 100%.
Yeah. 8 for me for Diop, no problem.
I'm with you on that, mate. I've got to admit, I thought Issa played pretty decent tonight. The second goal, it goes for his legs, but what can he do? There was a few times he got his head on things and he was there.
There's nothing wrong with the boys at the back tonight. And if it wasn't for them, we would have got severely smashed more. But because we're allowing Arsenal to come on to us, like I said to you in the show yesterday, right? We're not defending the ball out. When I said about my formation yesterday, you're defending between up to the halfway line. We were defending on the edge of our box tonight, right? Or in 100%. Our box, right? And that was because the formation was wrong.
100% agree with you, mate. I really do. Moving on to this man, though, Daya. What do you make of him tonight? Mazawar.
5.
I thought he was dreadful, mate, defensively. It just seems like the ball goes past him and he starts to panic. And
at the end of the day, we're losing a midfield player because they have to go back to double up with him on Saka. Right?
Yeah.
So that tells you everything. That even Moyes is the management or the coaches or whatever you want to say, you're having to use another player, a Lanzini or a Fornals, to go back to help Arthur because you haven't got the faith in him. Right, Arsenal attacked that right-hand side all night. I don't blame them. Arteta done his own work for it. Right, we'll get down there right-hand side.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did. And that forced one of our midfield players out of midfield.
100% agree, mate. Me, for Masuaku, he tried to go forward, right? I love it. He goes forward and he passes the ball back. It just makes no sense to me. I'll give him, yeah, I know 5's about right. Where you, I don't want to be, fuck it. I'll give him a 5. He has to do, wouldn't it? Amount of times he was going forward and passing the ball back, it's not good enough. Moving on to this man, Thomas Souček. How do you think he performed tonight there?
6.
Bang average performance again, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
He got played around when he was up the box. Didn't get his headers off, although the balls going in weren't fantastic to him. Yeah. Didn't do a lot really, did he? 6. Has
West Ham become a one-trick pony now, though, with him? Like, if we stop the balls coming in, if teams stop the balls coming in, then he's as good as useless, isn't he? As good as. Do you know what I mean? What am I going to rate him out of 10? I'll give him a 6. I'm with you. I think a 5's too low and I think 7's too high. So I think 6 is the middle of the road.
Just put out the hashtag. He says Longhello is better than Arthur, right?
Right.
I watched the under-23s the other day. Me and Jake Coxon are watching on. I thought he had a shocking game myself, Longhello. So I don't think he's on the brink. I think Moyes is probably right of not to left him in the under-23s on there.
Masuaku should not be at West Ham in 2020. 2021.
That's the problem. That's half his problem.
Right. He should have been long gone 2 years ago. And he's still fucking here. So, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Alex says, right, I'm off to bed now. I've slept for 2 days. This COVID is crippling me. Chest is proper rattling. No worries, Alex. I'll speak to you after.
I hope you get a lot better, Alex. Hope you get a lot better. Good luck, mate.
Yeah, I'll speak to you a day after about your Alex. No worries, mate. Moving on to this man, Mr. Declan Rice Dyer. Give me a rating for his performance tonight.
8.
Yeah.
He took a couple of times he tried to take the game by the scruff of the neck. And I think he's feeling the frustration of the front boys not doing it. And so he's picking the ball up and charging up and have a crack himself, which we've seen him be successful in doing other games. We're asking everything from this lad, to be honest. We're asking him to defend. We're asking him to break up the ball. We're asking him to charge forward. I don't think it was one of his better games. But he's still worth an 8, mate. Still worth it.
But you know what, though, Dyer? What I love about him, he stands out. Oh, that's the one thing. He stands out. There's levels to the games, right?
Yeah, we're missing when he's gone.
Fucking hell, mate. West Ham are vulnerable return when he goes, mate. So yeah, he's absolutely class. I'm with you on an 8. I think 8's about right. I think he tried his absolute hardest, right? And he's getting so frustrated at present, which is, I'm worried because if he starts getting pissed off with the situation, he might want to bail out. But
if he doesn't get Champions League football, mate, I think you'll find he'll be gone. You know, like I said to you before, we know Real Madrid are interested. We know they're going to throw big money at him, right? Real Madrid are rebuilding, and if I was him, I'd go to forget all our allegiances to West Ham as fans.
Yeah,
but if I was his agent, I'd be advising him to go to Real Madrid. Tell that now. I mean, West Ham fans wouldn't be that worried. They obviously wouldn't want to see him go. But if he doesn't go to Chelsea or Man United or Man City and he goes to Real Madrid, he doesn't upset any West Ham fans, does he? But I don't think he'd think like that anyway. I think Real Madrid's a great club to be at. Go and pick up your 400 or 500 grand a week, right? You can't knock, from a career point of view, it's a great move to go to Real Madrid for him. And no, I'm not on the deal before anyone accuses me of it. But, if I was an advisor, I just don't think West Ham, for all I love West Ham, I don't think we're going to, under Moyes, I don't think we're ever going to become a Champions League club, right? For what I was saying, I think he's a static manager. I think he's a good manager. He's a solid manager. But I don't think he's got the cutting-edge Moyes to take West Ham to the Champions League. And I don't think it just comes down to how much money you give him either. I don't think he moves the systems enough. I don't think he changes the team enough. Like we're talking, he always picks Antonio. He always picks Fabianski, although I'm not knocking Fabianski. But he's Benrahma, He hasn't let him play with his flair, for instance, right? You know, and these sort of things. That's a typical Moyes thing. And as Alex well said, he had his pedigree of working with strikers isn't good. Right? If you look at the strike rate of Everton forwards compared to Everton midfielders, more goals come from midfield than they did from bloody Everton strikers.
100%, mate.
And that, to be honest with you, I thank old Stell for that on West Ham Network because he put nobody put the stats up the other day, which I knew anyway. That was a sort of case, right? Like he signed James Beattie, he was awful at Everton, paid millions.
100%, mate. But you've got an 8 for Rice. I've got an 8 for Rice. We'll move on to this man. Give me a rating there for Fornals. You had a good shot in the first half that went inches past the post.
For Fornals tonight, well, many people may not have seen. He was overloaded with work because he's having to get back to help Arthur Masaraku. Right? We all love to see Fornals going forward, but the system that we played tonight and the way we played, right, didn't allow him to do that. He defended more. And so I'm going to give him a solid 7. I don't think he done anything wrong. He got a shot off. He could, went far away, that one, to be fair. On times like that, the ball would have bent more and it'd been in the back of the net. But it was a good strike. But he was having to defend too much. This is the problem with Moyes' system now, right? These boys up front, like your Ben Ramas, your Fornals, your Lanzinis, they're defenders. Especially tonight.
I must admit, I agree. Is he a 7 for me? I'll give him a 6. I just think there's defensively, he was very good, but nothing going forward. Fair enough, he had the shot, but there was just nothing else. I mean, passing was not all that.
Jordan, 2 secs. Jordan, I've invited Stell a couple of times to go to it. I said it'd be a bigger sellout than Tyson Fury and Wilder. But he doesn't respond, mate. So I think he's a bit scared. He's on the run still, to be honest.
Well, fucking let me go at Stell about Antonio. I will
I think he feels like he'd be out of his depth.
Cheers, Shiny G. I really do appreciate it. It's 1 minute past 12. I'm now 35. Thank you very much, Shiny G.
Hello, Shiny. Shiny was in. Hello, Shiny.
So, Daya, you're going for a 7 for Fornals, yeah?
Yeah, 7 for me, mate.
Right, 6 for me. Moving on to this man, Lanzini. Give me a rating, Daya.
7 again, mate. He was in exactly the same position as Fornals. He was having to get back to help out. Lanzini and Fornals need to be players going forward. Our front three, if you want to call them that, apart from the man up top, need to be playing forward, not defending all the time. Right? That is Rice's and Souček's role to do that defending, along with your left back and your right back. Right? In normal circumstances, obviously on the formation, but those boys are being forced backwards. And so it's not fair on them. It's not right on them. And then when they're picking the ball up, this is where it's all going wrong, you see. They're having to come back. They pick the ball up. Who do they play that? What's their outlet ball? Their outlet ball is Mikel Antonio, right? Who can't hold the ball up, right?
I know,
now, the only chance they can't put an over-the-top ball, right, from basically the edge of our penalty box. It's not going to happen. Yeah? Or maybe a little bit more forward up the pitch. That's what Antonio used to get. That ball over the top, that ball to run on, right? But if they're so far back down the pitch, they can't deliver that ball. That is where we're breaking down, mate.
I agree. I agree with you totally. I'm giving Lanzini a 6. I think if I'm giving Fornals a 6, I'm giving him a 6. I thought he's ineffective.
A bit harsh because the defensive work that they had to do. I think Def 7. I wouldn't tell you worldies or anything, but
a 7. A 7's like a good performance, and I think they was just.
Well, they did perform well because they went back there. If you left Arthur on his own, mate, we'd have been fucking raped.
True, but I look at it that if they're in the team, they've got to work both ways, forward and back. And I think some of their passing tonight was poor, especially Lanzini at sometimes. I thought he was a bit, his pass was just a bit all over the gaff.
The pair have done all right myself for the workload that they had on them.
Well, let's move on to this man, Jared Bowen. As a shot in the second half there, That's a good save from Ramsdale. What do you make of him tonight?
It wasn't a lot tonight, really, from him, though. He was all right. But I don't think he created much. Like you say,
I thought he was poor first half, 100%.
Yeah. 7 again for me, mate.
I can't give him a 7. Not after us losing and playing like that. To me, it's a 6. Right? He can't get a 5 because I think he played pretty okay. I think a 7's too high, and I think a 6 is just literally bang in the middle. So if you're going for a 7, fair enough. I'm going to go for a 6. I think he tried, but he was the better one out of all of them. Do you know what I mean? At the pair. So, yeah, moving on to... before I move on, if you're new around here, please do subscribe. I've got 24 people watching. Help me get to 300, please. I really would appreciate it.
Names you up there.
Yeah, and this is the final one of the player ratings before I get to the subs and then the rest of them. I want you to take it away on this one, mate. What do you make?
I'm going to give a score of 1, right? Because his laces didn't come undone. That was the only thing he done right, was tied his boots up without the laces coming undone. Because he was absolutely shocking tonight, right? His passing was woeful. His touch was woeful. He didn't win a header. I didn't see him win a header, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. 1. That's the lowest score I've ever given a West Ham player on any of these YouTube shows. But literally the only thing here, but he shouldn't have been on the pitch to start off with. All fans knew he shouldn't have played tonight. If we were going to play him, we should have played him in a different position. Right? Absolutely shocking. And I blame the manager. I do blame Moyes for picking him. I think if Moyes can't see what we can all see, then Moyes needs to get back down Specsavers. Right, or change the system to play Antonio to his strength. I like Antonio when he's used to his strength, but West Ham are not playing him to his strengths. And on the performance tonight, 1. He didn't do anything.
Cyber says Antonio tried though.
No, well, me Gran would have tried tonight to try and beat Arsenal, but you wouldn't have given her more than a 1. And she's 6 foot under 20 years ago.
I need a good laugh on my birthday, I must admit. It's hard to not agree with you there.
David Moyes, what would you score? I'd like to know what everybody would score David Moyes in the chat.
I ain't got to that yet. I ain't got to that. We'll get to that in a minute. Right, you're jumping the gun. What do I rate Antonio? I thought he was ineffective as a striker. I think he was shit as a right back. I think he was... Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you, mate. I'm going to give him a 1, and that's for just putting the shirt on. I think he's just not good enough at the minute. I don't know what's going on. I don't know whether he thinks he's a dog's bollocks or something, or what.
Yeah, I told you the answer, James, to be honest with you, mate. You're looking for more things, but there's your answer.
Yeah.
You don't become a bad player, right? But what you do become is a poor player if your manager's not giving you the right position. You know,
right.
We've slaughtered Ben Johnson before for playing on the left when he shouldn't play on the left. I'd never play Ben Johnson myself.
He's not a left back. Yeah,
unless you really have to play Ben Johnson on the left, you'd never play him on the left. We've seen it happen. But a good player doesn't become poor overnight, but he becomes poor if he's given the wrong instructions of what to do. We are not playing Antonio to his strength at all.
I understand that. I do understand that. And Darren, thank you very much, mate. I really do appreciate it. I understand that, but it's being a poor player and then there's not being able to pass a fucking ball or hold the ball up.
Once your confidence gone and you know that people are watching you for being poor, right? And you've been told at half time you're playing poor or whatever, and your head drops, your passing will drop, right?
Yeah.
Because what he will then try and do, you're trying to think about it too much. Instead of it being a natural flowing game or performance, the natural side comes out of it. And it's they're trying to think, well, I've got to get this ball off. And the harder you try to pass that ball, the more that you're thinking about it, the more you're going to cock it up.
I agree with you, but I'm just looking at him and I'm thinking there's just nothing there at the minute. But whether or not it's confidence, whether or not it's the team selection or anything, he should be taking the game by the scruff of the neck and saying, right, I'm just going to bulldoze my way through. He's just not doing anything at present. He really ain't.
His head shot now, mate, because Moyes has played him not to his strengths. frustration will be really kicking in. Yeah, of course he wants to have a good game, but he's trying harder to have a good game. And when you try too hard, it sounds really stupid, but when you try too hard, you cock it up, right?
Yeah, I agree.
You've got to play your natural flowing game, whether you're a pool player in the pub or whatever. Go out and play your game, right? If you're an attacking pool player and somebody says, right, now I'm
defensive one, I know that for experience.
You know what I mean? Exactly. You try playing defensive.
It's like Ronnie O'Sullivan becoming fucking Ray Reardon.
Yeah, exactly. Steve Davis.
Steve Davis. It ain't going to work.
Yeah.
I agree
with Antonio. We've got to play the ball in front of Antonio and have him back to his strength. First, we've got to drop him, right? I think he needs to be dropped for a couple of games. Not for rest. I don't think he's knackered. Everyone's saying, oh, he's tired. Listen, he's a professional football player. If you can't play 2 games a week, you should be in the Premiership.
Yeah. I've got to admit, he said, James, here's one for you. I don't know what Scott means by that. But anyway, moving on. Give me a rating there for Saïd Benrahma. Give the ball away, but the ball into him was a bit bad.
No, that was... I'm not going to knock Declan Rice, but Declan Rice, he probably put his hands up, hit it too hard to Benrahma. Benrahma shouldn't be slaughtered for the second goal. That was a great break by Arsenal, to be fair, right? Yeah. And guess who it was? Smith Rowe. Right? What did I tell you Smith Rowe was going to do? He's going to rip a hole through the midfield. He did, right? But what I'm saying is the ball was a steamer into Benrahma, right? He already had 2 players on him, right? It was only a slight touch when he controlled it quite well for the sting of the ball coming at him. But Declan Rice would put his hands up, I'm sure, but when they get on the change room, Rice would have said, sorry about that. It was a bit hard, wasn't it, Benny? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fans shouldn't pick on Benrahma for that.
Give me a rating there for his time on the pitch.
Not on that long. He should have been on way sooner, shouldn't he, to be fair? 6.
I'm going to give him a 5. I just think he tried, but he just didn't have enough time. And you can't really give him any higher than that. But if you want to give him a 6, that's fair enough, mate. I totally agree.
He's coming on. You remember when he came on, we're down to 10 men.
Down to 10 men and all, yeah. So
you remember that.
You can't really do anything. Obviously, I haven't got a... I want you to give me a rating for Ashby because I haven't got him on as a banner. So
Ashby, he looked... He's coming on to impress. He's coming on to impress the manager. He done that. He clearly impressed the supporters as well. He didn't put a foot out of play. Went on long enough again. Really, he should have been on earlier than that for Antonio. I'd have taken Antonio off myself. Right?
Yeah.
It would have been a straight replacement for me. Take Antonio off and put on Ashby earlier on. I do understand what Moyes tried to do, but it wasn't the time of the game to do it. It was gone. You know, what's it? Antonio, and hopefully get him charged up the wing. It was desperation, really. But he done everything right. Ashby he didn't put a foot out of place, so he deserves a 7. I think for being the young lad that he is, coming on, looked lively, looked good, done well. 7, and I'd like to see him play against Norwich. I think we're going to struggle against Norwich. I'll be honest. Dean Smith's got Norwich defending quite well now, and we haven't got any cutting edge at all. If we don't change it up front, we will struggle against Norwich. Right?
100% agree with you, mate.
And I think 100%. Antonio's got to be the 4 guy. I can't see how he justifies his place on Saturday, and it might be the time to leave him out and play a false 9 or something. And Villa broke. In the week, Villa broke down Norwich. And Ramsey's goal was spectacular. That's the old goals that we used to see at West Ham when players took on the defender and smacked it into the back of the net. Sadly, we haven't got Lingard until January. But I think Benrahma's got that in his locker to do it still. And I think Lanzini and Fornals have got it in their locker. But they've got to be the attacking players going at the defenders.
100% agree, mate. Ashby, for me, gets a 7. I think he looked lively. I think he's got pace. He looks to cross the balls in. Fucking playing because he's a good player.
We'll beat Norwich. I'm not that confident of beating Norwich.
At the minute,
depending on Moyes. Norwich, I would have, but Dean Smith has got some shape into him and got them defending quite well.
Yeah, I agree. But moving on, Daya. This is going to be polarizing. This is where everyone's been waiting for this evening. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. It goes a long way. Thank you very much. But
do you know what I think on the ref? Right?
Give us a rating on the ref.
Up until the penalty, I don't think he was that bad. Right? Fans, when our team loses, we always look at the ref. Right? Up until the penalty, you want that. He went over, he had a word with Arteta to get his player back off the pitch and stuff like that.
Which was disgusting from them, I think
that should be a yellow card doing that.
Yeah, it's cheating.
Right? Yeah, it's cheating basically, isn't it? Right? But he's within the rules of the game. Of course, that's not cheating. He could argue, no, I thought I got rid of me cramp and it came back. Right?
Yeah.
You can't prove it, can you?
Mm.
I think the law of football let the ref down tonight on a penalty. Right? The fact that the referee thought it was a penalty, fair enough. Right? I don't think it was a penalty, but the laws of the game say you can't do that now, Daddy. Apparently, right? But the laws of the game are an ass because that couldn't go to VAR because it was a second yellow. That's the only reason VAR didn't look at that was because it was a second yellow, right? Now, how does that work? If that had been a straight red, say the ref had pulled him a straight red by accident, right? They would have looked at that and said, that's not a penalty and that's not a card.
Yeah, but couldn't they have looked at it and said to the ref to go over and look at it? Right.
No, because the VAR, apparently, the law is, and it's been said tonight, right?
Mm.
The law is you cannot VAR a yellow card. So it was a yellow, the referee gave him the yellow card straight away, right? Mm. So once he gave that yellow card, VAR then can't look at the penalty. Now, if he hadn't given him a yellow card, he'd just given a penalty, they could have looked at it. So there's no fucking common sense here, mate. But the same thing, if Sufo hadn't been booked and he got a red card, they could look at it. So not be able to look at yellow cards, you can understand why they're doing it because they don't want to stop the game for every yellow card. They go, hang on a minute, they want a yellow card. They want a yellow card because, yellow cards are soft, can be soft sometimes, can't they? And it would stop the game too much flowing, wouldn't it? Every time, if you had the VAR a yellow card every time, right, you could understand. Do you see what I mean? But when it's a penalty, I think the rules should be different. I think if it's a penalty or it's a not penalty, it needs to be looked at in the penalty box because there's a goal scoring opportunity. A yellow card for someone pinching somebody else's nose on the halfway line, right? That's not a goal scoring opportunity. I agree. Don't look at that. But the law, when it comes to a penalty in the penalty box, like that tonight, VAR should be looking at that. And the only reason VAR haven't looked at it because he's dished a yellow card.
Yeah. Well, Jake Cox is an hour and a half away from home. Fair play to your kid. I've got your birthday card today, by the way. Thank you very much, Jake. I really do appreciate it, mate. Give me a rating out of 10 there for the ref, please.
6.
You're generous. I'm going to give him a 4, mate. I think that penalty decision is a killer. I think giving Kafal yellow card in the first 10 minutes when he could have let it go, really. Partey smashes into Antonio with an elbow, doesn't get even so much as a booking. I thought the ref.
To be honest with you, I'd give Antonio a 9 out of 10 for his diving tonight, to be honest with you, and his play acting. To be honest, he looked like Tom Daly half the time, splashing around the pitch like he was. Because he just doesn't look at sorts. He was falling over, he dived. That wasn't the Antonio we knew. Our Antonio never used to dive about like that.
Nah, I agree, mate. So the referee's going to get a 4 for me, I think. And VAR, both shockingly crap, and that's being generous. And the final rating of the evening, this is the one that everyone's been looking forward to, is David Moyes. Team wrong, right back wrong, he was wrong, we got done tonight. Talk to us there.
3.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
I thought you got it all wrong from the start, mate. Wrong formation, wrong approach to the game, far too negative. Allowing that one team you don't let come on to you is Arsenal.
Yeah.
Like I said to you last night, could slice you open with killer balls. Smith Rowe can run you ragged in midfield. Martinelli, what did I say? I said Arsenal 2-0. And I'm not saying I know it all. I said to you last night, Arsenal 2, West Ham 0, your 2 goal scorers, Smith Rowe and Martinelli.
100% agree, mate.
And that's just by reading the game of football, of how we've been playing, how we've been setting up. Moyes' stubbornness. Moyes is a stubborn manager. We're all telling Antonio should be dropped. He'd go against us all and say, no, I'm playing him. I know what I'm on about.
Yeah. I think Moyes. Right, let me try and do this. Right,
Stephen Tilley's got a good point here. Steve Tilley, right? This is what pisses me off as well, right? The lad gets dropped from the under-23 game on Monday, so he goes up to the senior team. Right? What's the point? There's no point. He's done it before, so there's nothing for. 2-0 down, right? What harm is it to throw Oxaflex on? I don't get that. I just do not understand the thought process of the manager there. Right?
Because I'll tell you the reason why.
If you're only having him for cover, we should have enough cover in our first squad, right? First team. There's no point to that. I totally agree with Steve. We should have seen him come on tonight. You can do it with Ashby, so we might as well have done it with Okoflex.
Yeah. The thing is, though, right, and I agree with Steve, but it's yet again stubborn Moyes. I'm going to say about David Moyes tonight, I think he took the piss with the team from the start. I think you put Lanzini and Fornals together, it just does not work. And anyone who thinks it does is deluded. We had no ball carriers up top. All we had was Jared Bowen, who was defending mainly, and Antonio can't hold the ball up. What done it for me with Moyes tonight is 2 things. Right. The first thing is a half time. Gets to half time. We all know there's a problem there. Change it. Go 3 in midfield. Like Crowell if you want. Go like 4-3-3. Change it up. Do something. He comes out second half. He plays the same system, same players. Knows that they've all played like a bunch of twats in the first half, and basically we are waiting to concede, and we do. Then we get the penalty. Or they get the penalty and Cathal gets sent off, and to go and put Mikel fucking Antonio at right back is just taking the piss out of every West Ham fan tonight. Right, this man is a shit right back, and he's not performing as a striker at the minute. So why does anyone think he's just going to turn into a great right back and bombard up the pitch? He hadn't done it as a striker, so what chance has he got as a right back? Then after a little while, he realises that he's fucked up, decides to go, you know what, this ain't working. He brings on Ashby. And then by that time, we're chasing the game still. And then we go 2-0 down, it's game over. Tonight, Moyes I'm giving Moyes a 2. Completely wrong. System wrong, players wrong. Mikel Antonio at right back is an insult. It really is. And I agree what you're saying there about Moyes' tactics and all that. But sometimes I look at him and I think to myself, he's one stubborn fucker. And we've got players on the bench.
He's one-dimensional. Our sides are one-dimensional, mate.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying about Moyes is taken us as far as he can take us, which I believe is top 6, knocking around the top 6. I don't think he's got the ability as a man. I'm not saying sack him or anything like that.
Yeah.
But you know, for the push on that we promised, mind, our board tell us we're going to have Champions League football, remember? We all gave up that one.
Yeah, I agree, mate.
Well, I don't want to get into the politics of it, but we were told we will deliver you Champions League football. And I don't think Moyes will ever get a football team, doesn't have to be West Ham, into the Champions League. Good manager. Reliable manager, we could say. Apart from, like, he bottles it when he goes and plays Arsenal away and stuff like that, you can say. But at least you know what you've got with Moyes. He's rock steady, but he is not a manager. He's not a Champions League manager, should we say then? Right? Yeah. And I don't think we'd do any good in the Champions League under Moyes, to be honest with you, anyway. Because they'd look at West Ham and say, well, they're one-dimensional. This is the way they play, right? We know how, right, so we counteract that. Moyes doesn't know how to counteract another side.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, mate.
We would have seen it this season, you know. We would have seen it. Even when Brentford done us and they overrun us in Mill, he's done nothing about it. Done nothing about it. And every team who overloads us in midfield now beats us or goes near to beating us.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I really do.
I'd like to ask Steve Tilley. He called for Oko Flex. Who would you taken off for Oko Flex?
Mesoarco, I would have done.
On the left. Can he play the left? This Oko. I haven't watched Oko Flex.
I would have gone. This is me. Right. This is me. I would have pushed Rice as like your third centre half. Took Mesoarco off and put Oko Flex on and gone like a 3-4-2 system. And just fucking had a go. We just waited to get fucking pulverised, really. But it is what it is, I'm afraid. Like, we are massive, but we are massive shit tonight.
Pete Castlemaine knows one of my regular viewers on my show. He talks a lot of sense. And when he's not on the wind-up, he says no Europe next season. And I think it'd be borderline. Peter, if we do something special in the transfer window, and we get our mojo back, and Lingard and whatever brings a bit of mojo in, maybe we got a chance getting top 6. But I think the top 4 dream's gone, right? And I believe we might struggle to get the top 6 because we're not putting away teams like we should be, Burnleys and Brentfords and so forth, you know. And we're just not at that level of your Chelseas, your Man Cities. You got to say Arsenal are back in it now. They're back in the top 4.
But you've got to look at Arsenal though, Daya. That you've got one team who spent 60 million, and you've got another team who spent 130 million plus. So
money comes. Of course, money comes into it, but I still think we're too static a side under Moyes, and I don't think Moyes is the man that will deliver Champions League football, but or maybe grab it once in a blue moon, but sneak that somebody has a run of bad form or whatever. You'd only got to look at last. We should have finished top 4 last season, if we're honest, mate. If we're really truthful, we had a great season. Don't get me wrong, and we're all happy because we got into Europe. But come on, we lost to Newcastle twice.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. Right, before we wrap it up, mate, because you're going to come to the hour. Give me your final thought on today's performance and your quick final thought before we wrap up, mate.
4 words, mate. 4 letters. Shit.
Yeah.
To be honest, I hate to say it, but we were shit tonight.
Yeah.
The only positive out of all night was Ashby.
And Dawson and Fab.
They played well, but the positive, we know they can do that. The positive, I always like to try and take a new positive out of something. And Ashby's performance when he came on, he didn't look out of it at all, did he?
He did fucking immense, mate. But he really did. He really did. My final thought is this: Moyes has got to start changing players around. He's got to start thinking that if Mikel Antonio's
and it brings it back, right? So you like your Stelioses of this world and a lot of Vlasic fans saying, give him more time. This is why we didn't have time. We didn't need to be buying players who needed time, whether it's 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 20 years the way it's going, right? With Vlasic especially, we bought a pup. We needed to buy players who would come in and play up and running, and you could swap and change. And you can't do, why didn't Vlasic the pitch tonight? He's no good.
I've got to answer this question, he says, Fever, how do I have to send you a card? I'll message you on Facebook later. Don't worry about a card, mate. You're here. You've sent me a thingy. I'm all good, mate. But I really do appreciate it. I'm just going to say this, before I wrap up, mate. But my final thought is this, that Moyes has got to sort himself out. And his team has got to sort itself out attacking. Defensively, what makes me laugh is that we were shitting ourselves when Zuma and Bonner are gone. Our defence has been not too bad. But our fucking attack can't score a goal at the minute. So, for me...
Yeah, but you're missing the point there, you see. Zuma brings the ball out brilliantly. So when Zuma's missing out your team, Zuma brings your ball up the halfway line. That's half the pitch covered already. So then your boys can go forward.
Yeah, but when I look at us though, even when we're going wide, crossing balls into people.
No, we're not going forward. We're not playing forward anymore. It's all side, but you might have had 5 David Batties on the pitch.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Jordan says, James, can you post me some A3 paper so I can make a card for you, please, and send it the next day delivery? Yes, Jordan, I will certainly do that, son. I certainly will, mate. But listen, anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there, but it's been a poor night at the Emirates for West Ham United. That has been the day's banter. So if you don't already know who he is, go and subscribe to the day's banter, I must admit. It's not the birthday present that I wanted, but we move on. We've got Norwich at the weekend, and we've got to win that game. Let me ask you this, Dave. Give me a little prediction on Saturday before we go.
0-0.
I think we nick it 1-0. I think we'll score.
Maybe nick it 1-0. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we might just nick it 1-0.
It's going to be around there. It's going to be. I don't think we'll lose, but
yeah.
I don't think we'll see a great performance.
I'll tell you something now. If I see fucking Antonio at right back, mate, I swear to God, don't know what talk to me on Saturday.
If he starts on Saturday, I'll be stuck for words.
Yeah, I agree, mate.
Peter on Norwich, that wouldn't surprise me. Norwich are desperate. Norwich will be smelling the blood. I'm telling you, Norwich will be smelling the blood. Dean Smith will be thinking we can get something out of this game, and he's right. He's right. We got injury problems.
Fucking well over the place.
They're easy to cut open.
100% agree, mate. I'm going to say a 1-0. I think 1-0. We might just get it done, but we'll leave that till Saturday. I want to thank everyone in the chat tonight. I really do appreciate every single one of you who's been watching tonight, and thank you for the birthday wishes. It really goes a long way.
Happy birthday, my old mate. Happy birthday, son.
I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much, mate. As always. I want to thank the Day's Banter for coming on tonight. He's done the preview with me. He's done the after thought with me, and I am done now till Friday. Tomorrow's going to be a day of rest and reflection.
Drink. Get a few points in.
And enjoy myself. But everyone, if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way. It helps me out greatly. I'm trying to get my numbers up. That man's helping me. Everyone's helping me. Jake Cox is helping me. I really do appreciate every single one of you. So, yeah. And anyway, I'll leave it at that. Not the result we wanted, but we move on. Roll on, Norwich. Take care.
Here we go again. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.